The sun is setting in Joliet, Illinois. 117 laps complete, and now we answer our Aflac trivia question. The winning driver of each Sprint Cup race receives 185 points. In what other ways can a driver earn points?
Delivering brownies to the booth.
Yes. Yeah. Those are brownie points.
Yeah.
That would be brownie points. That's a good point.
And the answer tonight, a driver earns 5 points for leading a lap and 5 more points for leading the most laps. A total of 195 points for the winner at the end of the night if they can lead the most laps.
For the winner.
For the winner, because they would have obviously led a lap.
I'm not saying anything.
That's good. They're battling for fourth on track. What about Truex, Ralph?
Well, you know, he was struggling to get the car to work in turns 3 and 4. He said, if I could get through 3 and 4, I'd be as good as anybody. Well, shortly after that, Jimmy Johnson passed him. And Wally, Kyle, as you know, sometimes it's good to run behind a guy, because as soon as he got behind him, he started running Jimmy's line. He started running a lot better.
He's right behind the 24 car. I mean, right there, I think Jeff will probably, I would lay over and let him go. I'm not sure what they did on the last pit stop for the 24 car, but he's been sliding backwards. I'm not sure they went in the right direction. Marty, is he happy with the changes? Or?
Yeah, he's happy. He was trying to pass Truex there, actually, and they've been getting better, Wally. They went down on the track bar again. Now that's 3 rounds down today on the track bar for Jeff Gordon, so it's getting better. And the one thing Jeff has learned, as the sun has started setting, he said at nighttime, I think we're going to be a little bit better. So that's one thing we have to keep in mind as well, guys. This track will change as we go throughout this race drastically.
Another group hoping that their fate will change once the sun goes down. Those drivers in the Joe Gibbs Racing Camp. Denny Hamlin carrying the flag right now. The man who won twice in early June, 13th. You see Logano in the 20th position. And Kyle Busch not too far from going a lap down in 22nd. It has not been their night.
But, you know, this year has been a year of streaks. Almost. We started out, and it was the 24 and the 48 dominated the first 7 or 8 races when you look at how they ran on the racetrack. And then all of a sudden, we go from the wing to the spoiler, and it's the Gibbs cars. But a little by little, they disappear. And when I say disappear, they don't disappear. They lose that edge that they have for whatever reason.
With the nose, use your momentum.
You know, but
Clear off the corner.
But like you said, one race makes a difference. I mean, you think you've got the stuff figured out, and then you show up like, you know, like Harvick does this weekend. And I know restrictor plate's a different deal, but still, you know, those guys have been running good all year, and all of a sudden they're out to lunch tonight.
Yeah, and you see the 48 and the 48 never went anywhere, even though, you know, like I said, reports of his demise were greatly exaggerated because he fell all the way back to 7th in points. But the thing is, he lost so much ground when he missed pit road. He was back in 3rd or 4th position. He has run down the leader. Not that the leaders come back to him. If you watch the times, he has run the leader down. Matt?
KP, it's been a tale of 2 different lines for Jimmy Johnson and the 1 car, Jimmy McMurray. You can see down in 3 and 4, it's shaded. McMurray's running up top. The car is just too tight to run the bottom, but it is starting to free up. Meanwhile, Johnson says when he tries to hustle his car, it starts to snap loose. What they're waiting for about another 10 minutes. Kevin Bonamania reminded Jamie last night in the Nationwide race, when the sun went down, the track started to go more and more on the free side, and that's what he's starting to see characteristic-wise on that 1 car.
Yeah, and just as you were mentioning that, Matt, the 48, you can see the 48's trying everything he can, and he is getting a little bit loose. The harder he drives it down through the corner, the car's just a little bit sideways. And it, you know, it's hard to explain. Sometimes it's so much easier to run a car down, but it's so tough to get around them. You know, especially if they're working the same line. But as you can see, Jimmy, you know, he made all this ground up, and now he's just kind of stuck there.
And we saw that, you know, we saw that almost in that first run, or right after the first pit stop, with the 48 and the 1. The 1 stayed right behind him. He never really gained. He never really lost. Everybody else, but Jimmy has run the 1 car down. You know, it's not that the 1 car on this run after this last round of green flag stops, the 1 car has maintained the same speed.
They started on the front row. McMurray and Johnson are the only 2 drivers to have led here tonight at Chicago. Under caution for the 2nd time tonight at Chicago. Debris in turn 2. You see it just below the white line there. Bad news for Jamie McMurray and Jimmy Johnson, who were pulling away. Good news for Ryan Newman. The first car 1 lap down in 24th will receive the free pass. Last time these drivers pitted, lap 94. We're at 130 now, or we've completed 130. So they will no doubt be coming to pit road. Phil Parsons going to lead us off on this cycle of stops.
Third place car of David Ruderman comes down pit road. They're going to take a little bit of air out of both front tires. Still needs it a little bit freer through the center of the corner. Marty.
Jeff Gordon running fourth on that run, said the car is extremely hard to describe and even harder to drive. Slides to the very end of his pit stall. He's on the bottom of your screen. Loose on exit. Big air pressure adjustment and a track bar adjustment this time, Matt.
And Jimmy Johnson, significant chassis adjustment. His car was snug in the center. You can see he was trying to hustle. The car got loose. Also up top, the 1 car, Jimmy McMurray. He said the track was progressively getting more free as the sun went down. Kevin Mannion made an air pressure change in the right rear to try to tighten the car up.
How many times do you see it? That #1 pit stall paying big dividends. McMurray won the pole here yesterday. Jimmy Johnson holding serve as well. He went in second. He makes his way off second. Gordon and Truex the others.